New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
So I was about to make a TikTok, and my daughter came in with this.
Sassy.
Mom, I'm gonna tell you this before they tell you this, because they're gonna say a lie. Because you know how you told me men are providers and protectors, right?
Men are providers and protectors.
So that means they go outside and work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you know how David's dad stay home, right?
Yes.
While David's mom goes out and work.
Okay.
So they was bothering me, talking about all the other stuff, and I was like, that's why your dad's a bitch. And then he's like, I'm gonna tell your mom, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, but I don't want you to be mad at me because I call him a bitch because he stays home while his wife is working. They want to speak to you downstairs.
You know, the only thing I can pretty much say is that this is sad. It's sad for a few different reasons. Number one, to, in a sense, have or teach a child to even try to utter the words that somebody who, in all intents and purposes, would be compared to her age, would be considered an elder, somebody who was older than her, to consider them that type of word and to try to demean them because they are a stay-at-home parent and that they are around their kids a lot more, which means that it's beneficial, right? Because the main thing that we always hear about is that, you know, for dealing with the black community, oh, you know, black men don't want to be fathers, black men are never there, they're hardly there, and all these other things, right? But here you have a father who is actually there, who I would at least want to say actually wants to be there, which means that he is going to be a consistent fixture in his child or his children's lives, which means that he would be able to give a lot more lessons, right? A lot more teachings, which means that this would be a lot more healthier, you know, fun engagements that he would be able to have and give versus a lot of other kids out here who would wish that they had a father, right? That was that much in their lives, right? And then on top of that, to have your daughter pretty calmly state to you a word like that, knowing the fact that children at that age should not be cussing at all, but for that to be, in a sense, a norm is a problem. It's a problem. Because if she's bold enough to say those things and state things like that, that then means later on in life, when it comes to young men who are going to be her age, she is going to be reckless with her words. And that's going to be a very dangerous thing because there's a lot of guys out here who do not care. Like, there's not even like a one-time type thing. It's like the moment that you come sideways, it's like those guys are going to directly go on attack because you said something that you shouldn't have. You started talking sideways. You entered into a lane that you just should not have entered into. And then on top of that, the outlook that it's going to cause her to have when it looks at men, right, who are at home. a lot of guys, you know, might be at this moment in time, they might be stay at home, or they just might be at home because that's what their work requires of them. A lot of guys, the greater majority of the work field, you have guys. Not sure if people, technically realize that, but you have a lot of guys out here that work a lot of, office jobs, a lot of construction jobs, and so on and so on and so on. So, for depending on what these jobs are and what these jobs entail, a lot of those guys are at home from work doing their work. But if you listen to how she's taught and you listen to what the mother has told her, those aren't real men, right? Because real men don't stay at home. They go out there and hunt. They go get the money, right? They don't just let the money come to them. Like I said, there's a lot of missing things that's there. There's a lot of backwards type of teaching, that is there. Like I said, at one point, for black men at least, black men would get generalized like, oh, y'all don't want to be fathers, y'all don't want to be there. Black men are not even in the community. And now here we are with this video where it's like black men will just sit up there and get clowned, where it'll be like, oh, well, that's great, your father's there, but he's not making no money. He's a stay-at-home dad. He's not a real man. Huh? What? Like I said, that's a little girl at the end of the day. She don't know anything about what a real man is. She doesn't know anything about what makes or determines a real man. She don't know anything about the challenges that men have to go through on an everyday basis, roughly since birth, in order to make it to that point. Her mom doesn't know either. She knows zero. She only knows what she is told or what she has learned. Like I said, it's a difference between being told and learning certain things versus actually doing and living those experiences. And this is what I sit up there and tell people before. A man cannot, in a sense, teach a daughter how to be a woman. Right? And what I mean by that is a man has never walked the life of a little girl, of a young woman, into a full-fledged woman. A man has never gone through the trials and tribulations that it has taken, that lifelong journey, in order to fully, grasp and understand, how it is for a woman to be uncomfortable in her own skin because of society, because of a lot of the other things that's pushed and pulled, directly onto these young girls as they are growing up, to basically give them mixed messages and to, hey, try to interpret this as you're growing up, or hey, take this with you and believe in this as you're growing up, even though it might be detrimental. This type of thinking might be detrimental for you, but take it with you anyway, right? And then vice versa. A mother cannot sit up there and teach a boy how to be a man. She can't. Like I said, my mom made me understand that. And she didn't have to, because I already knew, because due to the fact that, for all intents and purposes, my mom is a girl. She didn't grow up as me. She didn't grow up like me. She didn't grow up in the same body and having to look at, or having to have the world look at her in the way that the world looks at me. Like I said, my mom told me a while ago, she was like, hey, I can just do the best that I can, right? But, there's a certain type of love that a mother can give, certain types of information that a mother can give, and there's a certain type of love and certain type of information that a man can give. And I can only do one, because that's how God made me, right? And that's honesty. You're not going to have that from a lot of women in this timeline, because what has been taught at this moment in time is that, women can do any and everything. So this is why you have women now celebrating Father's Day when clearly you have Mother's Day. But a lot of women are like, oh, but I'm the mother and the father, so I'm celebrating both. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Go ahead. Go do you. Like I said, this the line of thinking that is out here is baffling. It's very baffling, to say the least, because there's a lot of missing information with what it is that the mother is teaching, at this moment in time. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that's stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.